Hello everyone, my name is Ashish Kumar. I am the founder CEO of Vardhan Consulting Engineers. This is the second session of specialized training program uh, for the core finance internship. Okay, in the second session we are going to talk about module 2 of the whole internship program. What exactly you need to do in module 2, what you are going to learn in module 2 and all. Okay, so let us start uh, discussing everything related from module 2 from this initial induction package, the VC internship info sheet. So when you go to internship info sheet, I suggest you to go to modules and tasks, click here. Okay. It will open like this, modules and tasks. When you click the modules and tasks, then you go to core finance internship. Okay, and then let's start with financial modeling infra. Go to modules and tasks. All right, module 2. In this module, we will provide a simple financial model of a project having individual equity and non-recourse debt. The intern need to analyze the model and understand each applicable calculation on the respective sheets. Okay. What is the smart task 2? So in this module, what we are doing, we are giving you a simple financial model. I will discuss with the financial model right now. You need to go through the complete financial model, each and every formula, each and every term. And when you go through the financial model, because go through means you need to go thoroughly through the financial model. That if you need to prepare a financial model, how you are going to prepare. Now, smart task 2 is while preparing a financial model, what are the assumptions we need to take? Please list down the list of assumptions, values, and project setup in the India. Now, explain the function of revenue, cost, debt sheet of financial model. Explain the detailed various step involved in the with the importance of inflow sheet, why and what bank needs to check before financing of the project. Okay. All these questions will be answered through this sample financial model. So this is the case statement problem of the sample financial model. Okay. The case study problem is there is one guy who want to buy a flat, a condominium, like a house, whatever. The flat cost is about 1 crore rupees. 70-30% is the equity and debt ratio. Okay. So debt 70% he is taking from the bank and equity 30% he is putting by himself. It's like 30 lakhs from himself and 70 lakhs from the bank. Okay. Now the plan to pay back the loan is like he want to put that flat in rent on rent with a monthly rent of 2.5 lakhs per month. Okay. When the rent will come, he will pay back the loan. It's a classic simple case of non-recourse debt. Means to get that loan, the whole flat is under collateral. He don't put any personal collateral for the loan. So since there is no collateral, it's a non-recourse debt. Okay. So whenever he get the money from the monthly rent, he will uh, pay back to the bank. Simple. So here we have given a cost breakup like flat, interior decoration, furniture. But usually for a financial modeling, if you don't even if you don't know the cost breakup, it doesn't matter. Even if you know the capex and opex, that is also opex means for monthly background or whatever yearly background. A capex is a one-time capital expenditure. Even if you don't know the breakup, doesn't matter. You can still do it. Revenue means how he is gaining money from the flat, right? Look, so he has taken example of 25 years. Okay, cities Mumbai square feet of flat is 3,000 square feet is large flat and all. Rent is this much. Interest on deposit, he is taking a deposit of one third of the annual rent. That is the deposit. Suppose annual rent is 12 months, so he is taking a deposit of 4 months. So suppose the annual rent is only for 10 to 11 months, he is taking the deposit of one third of the 11 months. Okay, and that deposit He is putting that because deposit he need to pay back, right? Deposit he need to pay the back, but whatever the interest on the deposit that he is gaining, okay, interest on the deposit that he is gaining, so that is the deposit part of it. This is how the revenue he is gaining for year on year basis. Then you need to go through this fin flow sheet, how the revenue, how the EBITDA is, how the non-operating expense, what is the cash flows, okay, how they are calculating the DSCR, what is the meaning of DSCR, what is equity, debt, what is inflation, okay, dividend distribution tax, moratorium period, debt tenure, all these small terminologies, all these assumptions you need to understand, you need to go through it, because when you go through it, then only you can able to prepare a financial model like this. And then how the debt is getting calculated, how the loan payback is getting calculated, okay. It is not a difficult model, it is a simple model. I have not put the balance sheet in this model or profit loss statement. It's a simple model and you can do it. When you finish this simple model, then you can come to the modules and tasks, and then write down the assumptions, write down the function of module cost that sheet, and what is the importance of different fin flow sheets and all. You can write down. Okay. The idea is to get to know the simple financial model, and get an idea of how to prepare a simple financial model. Because when you make a simple financial model, simple calculation and all, then only when you understand this, then only you are going to make actual real big financial model. All right, so that is the thing. Now I am asking all of you guys, whatever I told you right now, if anybody have any doubt, any questions related to that. No issues. Let's discuss about the financial risk assessment modules and tasks. In the financial risk assessment module 2, detailed analysis of risk and sub-risk related to infrastructure project. So what happened that is, if there is any infrastructure project anywhere in India or world, any infrastructure, in this module you need to find out, in any kind of infrastructure project, what are the risks that gonna involved in that. So in spite of you going and finding out what are the risks involved, okay, we have already made a list of the risks here. The risks are political risk, regulatory risk, financial risk, technical risk, environmental risk, social, local risk, military terrorism risk, execution, force majeure, and other risk. Okay. So you need to go through Google and find out what is the meaning of political risk, regulatory risk, what is the financial risk, what are the things comes inside the financial risk. Okay. And when you know, okay, this risk is called political risk, this risk is called financial risk. So if that risk happen, what will be the impact on the project? That also you need to write. Some risk happen all the time, like suppose delay risk, execution risk. हमेशा execution में there are always errors, problem. It won't impact the overall project. It got delayed, that's it, but won't impact so much. But if any risk like financial risk happen, it will definitely impact the project. The project will be stopped. Environmental risk happen, it will stop the project. So huge impact risks are there. Then second thing is probability of occurrence of the risk. Then you can ask, sir, how can we find out what is the probability of occurring? Any risk can happen anytime. So you need to think that whatever risk you are taking care, you are writing down, last time when that kind of risk happened in such project. If that risk, like suppose political risk in India, it never happened after 1970, 1945, 1947, whenever India got independent. India is a very stable political country. It never happened कि after so many years of democracy, one dictator came and closed all the projects and denied all the contracts and all. It never happened. Last whatever contract signed by the last government, the new government came. Even the new government is from different party, they always honor the contract. They say, yeah, no issues, we'll honor the contract. They always honor. So it never happened. So the probability of occurrence of a political risk in India is a bit difficult, right? But technical risk can happen. So that detailed analysis you need to do of different risks. Or any other risk you find out through internet or through your web research, you can add that. Anybody have any doubt, anything related to this risk analysis? Anyway, no issues if you have no doubts. Okay, let's talk about the equity research module 2, the stock market thing. So my first suggestion to all the stock market interns, like equity research interns, that watch all the 4 videos that we have uploaded in the online portal. Okay, those videos are very important. Okay, in module 2 of equity research, you need to understand what is technical and the fundamental analysis of a stock. Okay, to understand this technical and fundamental analysis, we have downloaded some very nice effective ebooks of introduction to stock market, technical analysis, fundamental analysis from Zerodha. And the books are very effective. You can go through the books. There are so many things to learn, so many things, detailed analysis. So you can go through these books. It is really very good. Simple terms and all. Okay. And regarding the task, it's simple questions like what is technical analysis, why it is important, what is fundamental analysis, how we use technicals for long-term stock investment. Okay. And during the technical analysis, there are so many small terminologies come, like the price ROC, price rate of change, major oscillators, different Bollinger bands, okay, support and resistance line, moving averages, Fibonacci series, Fibonacci theory. What are the major indicators people use? What is candlestick diagram? Okay, so you can write a small paragraph on this, but you need to understand what is this. Okay, when you watch the videos and all, you will definitely understand. It's not so difficult. Then I want one paragraph on intraday trading, what should be the intraday strategy and all. Okay, but major thing is you should understand what is fundamental analysis and what is technical analysis. Okay, majorly fundamental analysis means you are going on the fundamental detailing of the stock. It means there is a company called Deepak Nitrite, or there is a company called Tata Steel. Okay, you don't know what is the share price of Tata Steel. You just know it's a public traded company, listed company. So you go and find out who is the owner of Tata Steel, how many shareholders they have, when it become public, what is the PE ratios they have, how much profit the Tata Steel is getting, how much dividend the Tata Steel is giving it to their clients, the shareholders. Okay, so all kind of this fundamental things of the company, that is called fundamental analysis. Now, a lot of time people think that fundamental analysis should be enough to invest in a company, but then many investors they thought that yes, fundamental analysis should be enough, but when they think of that, even though some companies have a very good fundamental, like suppose ITC and all, their fundamental is very good, they're making profit and all, but their stock price is not moving. There are some companies whose fundamental is not very good, average, but the stock price is moving, booming, boom. Wow. So what is driving that price? Then they come back on the charts, then they come back on the number. They forget about what the fundamental. They just think about the price, check the charts, check the numbers, then come up with a new thing. Oh, the price is moving, that there is a technical analysis in the price. Then after seeing the 100 years of stock market detailings and all, people find out that only fundamental of a company is not what moving the stock market. Stock market also moves with the technical analysis, the pulse of day to day news, the pulse of anything happening, right? Because it's a fearful market. People are feared. People put a lot of money, they are feared. They are scared of losing that money. So whenever something happens, they try to pull out their money, their investment, their profits. Like suppose when you invested in stock 1 lakh rupees and it 1 lakh it grows to 4.5 lakhs. So every day you are in a dilemmatic situation. Should I remove my 4.5 lakhs, book the profit, or should it be there? But the moment there is some kind of bad news, COVID or any recession or BJP is losing this election or something like that, you think, oh, the market is gonna crash, pull out all my money. So when you start selling and getting your money back, other people also start panicking and selling and getting. When everybody is selling and getting their money back, the stock price crash. So technical analysis start playing a major role in deciding which stock to invest, which stock to hold, which stock to sell. That's why technical and fundamental analysis are the major thing in deciding the stocks. Okay? This is what people do in equity research. Now I am asking again, if anybody have any doubt, any questions, anything you want to ask that you don't understand. Okay, module 2 is not so difficult. Okay, make a put your mind very in a lightweight and then do the module 2. It's not so difficult. I think you can do it. It's not so difficult. Now tell me, anybody have any doubt, any questions?
No, sir.
All right, guys, take care of yourself. Okay, if anybody have any doubt, every week we are having a doubt clearing session. Okay, sometime I got surprised that when I do orientation session on the first day, people got very excited. They keep on asking me, sir, how can we interact with you? How can I ask you doubt and blah blah. And when I keep myself open for doubts, okay, I didn't get a lot of doubts from you guys. Okay, okay. So, but I'm not saying I'm not getting any doubts. There are a lot of people who ask me a lot of doubts on WhatsApp and Telegram or send emails to me or call me also. That's their part also. But if you have any doubt, if you do actual work, ask the doubt because it will also make you brush up your things. Okay, guys, have a very nice Sunday. Take care of yourself.
Thank you, sir.